Hi, guys. How are you? Welcome to another episode of Jamaica Politics Uncover Live. I'm going to be chatting with you tonight about a few things, and I'm also going to have a guest come on and talk with us as well. If this is your first time joining us, and if you're a new subscriber, we welcome you to our online and YouTube community over here. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. It's good to have you back. So, guys, as you know, we have been following the murder cover up of Melissa Silvera that took place in the People's National Party. The turn of events, the strange behavior, the suspicious behavior, the arrest and charge, and further suspicions, further charges looming, and so on and so forth. We have been following, we have been advocating for justice for Melissa Walters. Guys, if you are just joining, please hit the like button and please share the live so that we can let our friends know that we're on and so that we can get the conversation going. As you can see, guys, the title of this live tonight says they wanted to cremate her, but police said no and exposed them. And also, we're going to be talking about the danger of Peter Bunting coming back into representational politics. Something that bothers me and a lot of people is that the entire time that Mrs. Silvera, I think it's since November 10th, so it's been a while that she died, the People's National Party has not stopped nor paused to recognize that something tragic, something unprecedented, and something evil has happened to Melissa Silvera. They have not said, you know what, we're going to pause the campaigning and, we're going to take a time to acknowledge, to do a vigil, to do something to let people know that, look, we take this serious. This is terrible. They have not done that. In fact, this evening, Peter Bunting was in South Manchester introducing himself to the people there and saying that the people sent call him, which is not true because they kicked him out next door at Central Manchester and voted him out. I remember when Dr. Bloomfield was killed in East Portland, everybody kind of took a step back just to digest what had happened. And, didn't happen for too long. They didn't take too long of a pause. But nonetheless, they recognized. I remember Anne-Marie Vaz in particular said that she was going to suspend her campaign for the time being until further notice and, things of that nature. Like, that's what decent human beings do. But these guys, they don't operate like that. They don't function like that. And so it's business as usual. One of their own. It's business as usual. And by the way, I hear that PJ Patterson is not doing so well. He's very shaken up by what happened. So let us start by talking about the cremation. For those of you who are just joining, welcome guys. Please share the live and thank you for joining. So, as reported this morning, I posted that video. And as reported this morning, I don't know if you guys heard this before, but they wanted to cremate Melissa. And the police would have to give them authorization to go ahead and cremate her. But obviously, they had a lot of suspicion and they did not want to destroy any evidence. Clearly, an autopsy would need to be done. So it would not be appropriate to cremate Melissa. So they said no to the cremation. And now that we know what we know, and know that we are here, we now understand why that cremation was being talked about. The room was renovated, the tiles were changed, the walls were painted. And you know what, guys? We have to give credit to the Jamaica Constabulary Force, because with all that time that they had to fool the people to say that Melissa had died in her sleep from aneurysm, all that time they had, those 6 weeks they had, all the time they had to do the renovation and the cover up. But the police were still able to come up with enough evidence to hold them accountable. I would say that's good police work. Because remember, the first time on that crime scene, guys, that is as good as it's going to get for you. If you don't gather what you need to gather then, especially in the situation of a cover up, then say you lose everything. But the police took an opportunity at that first visit to get just enough evidence with the autopsy result, the full autopsy result, to be able to make an arrest and file your charge. Now, tomorrow is going to be an interesting day, because tomorrow we will see what other charges are going to be filed tomorrow, right? So that is going to be something very interesting to watch out for. But I just want to say the police, I just want to show my appreciation to the police, because with their status, with their social status and their nose up in the ear, I want to see how them talk about Bounty Killer and the other guy, when they were on their pedestal, because they're better than everybody else, and they probably thought so about the police too. But I'm just glad that the police stood their ground against this cremation, because a lot of times, guys, a lot of times, when some of these people, they want to cover up their crimes, they cremate their victims, right? We know that. So the police did not bow to that kind of pressure. They stood up to the protocols, or stood up for the protocols, which is that, under these circumstances, you cannot give authority and give the okay to cremate somebody under these circumstances, right? So that's a good thing. Now, the another thing now, guys. Good night, everybody. Good night, Paulette, Claudette, Nikki, Princess, Ask the Bus Driver. That's a good one. And everybody else listening. Silent listeners, good night to you as well. But guys, where Peter Bunting is concerned now, this man is announcing that he's coming back into representational politics after he told the people that he was gone, right? And I find it real funny, because when he was first announced to go to South Manchester, because he cannot go back to Central. He cannot go back to Central Manchester because he has no record of performance there. And that's why the people them got rid of him. And I am talking as somebody who is from Manchester. And I know that constituency very well. And in fact, when Bunting was getting run out from out there, I was in Jamaica at the time. So I know that the people them don't want nothing more to do with him. And that's why him cannot go back there, especially now with Rhoda Crawford doing the work of the people. So he takes to South Manchester now. And when he was first announced to go down there, that had to be postponed, because the information about his son being molested in his house when he was there, that information came out. And so he went dormant. He went silent after that because he didn't have no explanation to give the people. He didn't even respond to the people. He didn't even respond. And I saw the report. I received the report and I read the report, right? So it's not nothing that is, a rumor or propaganda or whatever. I saw the report, but I did not post it in the public because it had his address on it and certain things I don't do, right? Certain type of behavior I'm not going to engage in, even if I don't like somebody. So I would not post that kind of information with his address on there. And I think the name of his son was on there too. So I did not want to do that. So he did not report to the police about the molestation of his son, this man in his house, while he was there with his child. Didn't come out and name the man nor nothing. The mother who was abroad at the time, she basically was on the phone with the scared child, telling the child, go in the room and lock yourself in there, walking the child through being safe. And when she came home, she dealt with it and got to Sissoko and made the report. And she called up him name in there too. And said what him say and what him never say. So when that report came out, he didn't bother going to South Manchester them time there because him did shame. And he still has not come out and said anything to the people. But Jamaicans should be very concerned because this is a man who was rejected by the people in central Manchester. And because they have no respect for the people and no sense of decency, when the people vote you out and reject you, they do not want you to represent them. But in an unprecedented move, Mark Golding take up Peter Bunting after the people rejected him and put him in the Senate. Those of you who follow politics, you know that PNP don't do that. I don't ever think the Jamaica Labour Party do that. If he had a 3-term seat, the people kicked him out, and then he got picked up and put in the Senate. You don't do that. The people are saying, look, we don't want your representation. We don't want you. So they voted him out. So Golding now put him in at the Senate and now him come. Say him go shuban himself and the people in a South Manchester. Here is the danger to that, guys. You see the murder cover up what happened in the Rise United faction in a PNP right now. Bunting and Golding are the leaders of the Rise United cult movement within. And with Bunting trying to get a seat, right? I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes successful, he's gonna round up the cult to house Mark Golding because that's how cutthroat and tabbing back and undermining and sabotaging Bunting is. That's his style. You cannot sleep on him. He will do that. So, with that kind of murder cover up, what would Jamaica want from these guys to come and cover up more? Because you don't hear none of them talk nothing. Only no see them come out and disassociate themselves from the man. I'm telling you last night, say, they are standing by him. And they are clinging on to this idea of due process. They don't have to deny him his due process. But what they can and should do is disassociate them. Disassociating yourself from something that is negative is not saying that you are against it. But when you don't, it appears that you are for it. When you see them send out the women's movement, President come say, what happened to Melissa was terrible. But we respect the rule of law, we respect due process. And they have not said anything. The man is still a member of the party. The man still under the impression, say, them support him because allegedly him send message to them to get mattress for sleep and almost the food. I don't have any information whether you received those items. And you know, so over here, when we say allegedly, it mean we don't know for sure. And therefore, we're not going to come and tell any lie. But anything else we say, we stand up tall, on top of it, and back of that. You understand? So this man going through this thing with this murder and cover up, under the impression, say, the party, the People's National Party, still stands by him. So what I am saying to you guys is, Bunting wanting to come back now in a representational politics at a time like this. At a time like this, they have not taken a pause to acknowledge what happened to Melissa. They have not taken a pause. They have not taken a pause to have meetings to say, guys, how should we handle this? Or, where do we go from here? These are conversations that you have when you are dealing with a crisis like this in an organization. You don't just carry on like business as usual. And that is what's so scary about these people, because they behave like a bunch of psychopaths. Them don't have no remorse. Them don't have no human compassion, and they do not behave as if they have the normal emotions that humans have. They have known Melissa a long time. When you lose somebody that close to you, it jerk you. No matter how tough you are, it jerk you at your core. And so you might need to take a few days off. You might need to just really take a breather to, kind of reassess and look what really are going around you. But not them. Them can't hear say them mother dead tonight and gone back on campaign tomorrow morning. I saw them stay. I want to see it for yourself. So when you have these FinSac 2.0 people, and one of these nights I'm gonna have to come out here and we're gonna go back over FinSac and look at the role that they played, right? And the amount of comrades will lose them house and their assets. So and this is not the first time them a shake over PNP people. There was an article written a few years ago where the comrades them were saying, look here, we don't want this anymore. We don't want this organization where only a few well-off people are stepping on our heads. We don't want this capitalist thing here anymore. And I'm going to share that article with you guys soon. Right? But this cult in Jamaica has to be dismantled. I told you guys that they were reported to some US authorities because the danger that they pose, the recklessness, the lack of boundary, they started displaying this type of behavior. And those who are observant and smart know say these people are a dangerous group. You cannot see this as normal. There's nothing normal about them. Look what happened. Murder cover up. But it's business as usual. And they're standing by the person who is the suspect and the person who is charged. And they have no shame about it. And they feel no guilt about it. Right? No guilt. Absolutely none. Let me just go through some of the comments and then I will bring on my guest. I hope you guys are doing well. I see that you guys are still helping with the advocacy here on YouTube and other platforms, asking for justice for Melissa, and I appreciate that. That's what we should do as a collective, as a community, as a group of Jamaican people. These things should not happen to our women, and certainly not at the hands of people who portray themselves to be politicians, who want to lead our country. And if they are willing to do that to their own and call their friends to come to the murder scene because they're a friend killer, what will they do to the average Jamaican citizen? What will they do to you? If you and them have something and them decide so them want to bring it down, they might be frame you, put murder upon you, do all kind of something. And there's nobody there to rescue you. So these are not people that we want in government. Look at what they do to their own. I hear say Silvera allegedly kill a man dog and carry the man dog, go to him yard and show him. And one of the things that I tell my female friends to do, and even my own daughter when she starts dating, I said, if you really want to test the character of a guy or somebody you might want to date, watch how he treats animals. Would you ever think about killing a dog, people? Me dey even like kill roach. Me would kill a mosquito still and not feel no way. Cause me no like them a buzzing on my ears and them sitting there. But when you talk about killing a dog, who does that? Even if you don't like animals, even if you have a phobia about animals, you don't think about killing a. You know how much guts it takes to do that. You know how much absence of emotions that takes to kill a dog. That shit is not normal. And then to still have this man round the party, I'ma feel like so when Peter Phillips and those people were there in the leadership, him never really come around much them time because maybe Peter Phillips them would all see this man as some future danger and just no bother with him. But he felt very comfortable joining up with the Rise movement and little bit of blood on them people there. Because when you notice the type of people where they call for come on the murder scene, then could have called Peter Phillips. Then could have called Philip Palwell. Then could have called Lisa Anna. Then could have called a whole heap of people for come on that murder scene. But they only call the people them who they know don't have no sense of decency. And they will step on their mother's grave. Those are the kind of people they call to come to the murder scene. And that's why they could have shook them out for contact, say, a little bit of blood in their nose. And we thought, we saw the bleeding from the nose, so we thought it was aneurysm. Sensible people don't do that. So it's like a clique, a cult, a lodge, whatever you want to call them. But all I know, they're evil, very evil. And they should not get within close proximity of any power in Jamaica, whether in the capacity of a member of parliament, whether in the capacity of prime minister, whether as a minister. They need not have no power over people and their life in Jamaica. Look what they did to their own murder and cover up and lies. Somebody say, I saw Peter Bunting, love power. London in the house. Welcome, everybody. Peter Bunting will kill him own for power. You guys saw what he did to Dr. Peter Phillips and what he did to the People's National Party. The first thing that Peter Bunting did when he wanted to get the leadership of the party was take the platform and tell the party and tell Jamaica and tell the world, say if it was a film checkbook, PNP light would have cut off. Now right then and there, you see this is a man that has no scruples. He has no sense of decency. He has no respect. And let me just tell you, let me just pinch you and tell you this. When Peter Bunting came back into the PNP, I soon post the video where him take the ball and walk out of the parliament where him never get him way. When he come back in, he made a promise to finance the party and pay for local things here and there, right? To go down in the seat down there, so. Nobody never put a gun to him head to do that. He did that voluntarily. And these manipulative people, when they want to get their way with people, they offer money and them something there. So when they come now and take that and cuss the party now in front of man and God, to make the party look like say them broke and destitute. And don't make them fool, you know, guys. When Bunting and Golden come tell the nation say the PNP broke, wanna make it make sense. If the PNP did broke, as when them come talk say, and first of all, them not a whole heap of money, a little bit of money they have. Because they still not count no big currency. And with all the money where they have, look at them. Mark Golden polling 12% and Bunting polling 2%. So look here. When them say PNP not have no money and they walk and talk this to the comrades them and the comrades them repeat it. Because so them operate, them like to disseminate lie and wickedness from people. When they consider that the PNP not have no money, if the PNP was that broke, how is it that the PNP was able to stave off a challenge from Bunting? It costed money to go into that challenge with Bunting because Bunting spent hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. So if the PNP did broke, the PNP could have never did take on that challenge there. Dr. Phillips could have never did challenge him with the money power we income with. And God rest his soul. I heard DK Duncan talk before him dead. So the PNP was able to defeat Peter Bunting's money. Because all him come to the people with was money. Nothing but record of performance. Nothing but respect and decency, and none of them something there. Nothing with no plan and no vision. Just pay for busing some whole heap of people. You see that the launch they were then keep, when the challenge keep. Like I said, I was in Jamaica at that time. Those people did not support him, because if they did, he would not have lost his seat. That day, when Bunting kept that launch for the Rise United cult, I was leaving out of the parish of Manchester, and for about 40 miles, there were buses coming into the parish. And I said to my driver, how is it that a man going to put on a launch, a campaign launch in his own constituency, and him have so many people being bussed into the parish? I said he doesn't have any support in the constituency, and he's gonna lose. And the man said, yeah, man, that's true. Because for the whole ride leaving out of the parish of Manchester, all the time we reach Clarendon and Toll Road, people still are come. And you know, say them have on the Rise United shirt. The cult are rolling. Peter Bunting not have no charisma, him not have no record of performance and them something there. Him lie. And tell lie on people. So, Princess, Mama calling Princess pan this, because Princess know Bunting longer than me, so she can't tell her no. And be my witness. Hold on there. Some kind of cover up them want come do. That's why you see my run out now. That's something here with Melissa Silvera. The whole entire cult must be investigated. All right, see me guess here. Good night, Princess. You're live.
Good night. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am okay,
You were listening to the conversation?
Yes, man, I was here opening. Yeah, I was.
Okay. Did you hear the breaking news about Bunting declaring himself as the candidate? I'm sorry, I can't even play the video here, and it was so short. Go ahead.
It was on the news.
Okay, so you saw. So
yeah, man.
Tell the room here, tell the audience here, how much people are watching? 268 people. Good night, everybody, and thanks for joining. Do you feel any kind of cynicism about Bunting trying to come into this thing, after I'm saying I leave representational politics, and now with this murder cover up, he might try shooting himself now? What do you make of that?
Okay, first of all, good night again to everybody listening, and welcome to the program, because these are very good programs, and these are the programs and the personalities that has kept the People's National Party in the mainstream. Tonight on TVJ, the news, they played the clip, and they also played the clip he did in November last year on Beyond the Headlines interview with Dean Jackson Miller, where he indicated quite clearly that he was finished with representational politics.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am going to say something, and I hope I don't get your program in any trouble. There's a list out. I think, when they showed the news tonight and show him in South Manchester making he was listless, he was inert, INERT, he was inane, he was, there was no zeal, no zest, nothing that indicated that he had any energy, any spirit, any really was there about contesting South Manchester. And the young JLP MP did not even grace him to answer the phone call from the media. That is all, Robert. with him.
So you're
Not,
basically saying that him didn't come with any energy like him want to represent the people, then him come flat.
no, no. But there is a list I saw. Jamaica have 10 most feared politicians. On that list, Peter Bunting is 5. I repeat, I have seen a list, Jamaica top 10 most feared, FEARED politicians. 9 of them are from the Jamaica Labour Party. 1 is the Rise United Movement Party founder or co-founder, Peter Murcutt Bunting.
Mm-hmm.
He's 5th on that list. At 4 is the Prime Minister, 3 is Western St. Thomas MP, 2 is Western Portland MP, and 1 is the Minister of National Security.
Yes.
Now, interestingly enough, a female, a naive young female defeated Peter Bunting, shocking the whole Jamaica.
Yes, that was the most shocking of all.
Right. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, speaking from the heart, being in politics alone, I think she's the reason why he's gone back into Manchester. He wants revenge against Rhoda Crawford.
But if he want revenge, him supposed to go back to the people who run him out. The central him supposed to there, but he cannot go back there. So what kind of revenge him gonna get pan she?
No, but you know, revenge comes in all form because he also wants revenge against Lisa.
Okay.
And the headline of his revenge is by any means necessary. It doesn't necessarily, as I said, watching the news tonight, I don't get the impression that he's serious about going back into representational politics. But should the possibility, because Melissa owns prime land in Portland. He's greedy for land and he wanted her land. He was minding the husband. So he's a man of calling calling any debt you have with him, call it in. And I think that was killed. Melissa, Rhoda Crawford, as I said, shocked him because his main ambition is life. In life, is to wear the title. Just to wear the title, you know. Now, I got to do nothing for the people every time. Never do nothing for Central Manchester.
He sure didn't.
Is to wear the title of being Prime Minister of Jamaica.
So how am I going to do that now with Mark Golding there? What am I going to do now? Am I going to snuff out Mark Golding?
No. Anytime the opportunity arises.
Princess, remember say them a Frankie line. Princess, them a Frankie line. That's why I have to ask you.
No, I don't kill. Anytime the opportunity, was it possible to have a reason and win a seat as MP? Mark would have just on a shock. Mark would have just stepped down, resign,
just like that.
That Mark, Mark come there to really hold the post.
Oh,
and things now work out.
Okay.
But this man is dangerous and very revengeful against female, because female's whole political career has been tumbled. Lisa Anna, Peter Phillips' campaign director, Lisa Anna, beat him on his birthday in the presidential challenge. Then, bam, the news of a famous MP politician in Manchester.
Oh. So he have a vendetta against woman then? He have a vendetta against woman. And one thing I noticed with him too. You see the woman them when him take up for help him run him campaign and for blog on social media for disturb people and them something there and defame people. Them the woman they are the weakest link. Why him take up the weakest link woman them to put around him? I don't understand. Nikisha Burchell, who was at Melissa's funeral in a dark glasses behind Silvera, little bit of blood. Them people, me not see them help him with nothing at all. If anything, them bring him down. So the woman them now we have caliber now, like Lisa, Rhoda Crawford, Donna Scott Motley. Remember, Donna Scott Motley come out and said to the people, this man have no integrity. He's not fit to lead this noble movement, and he's not fit to lead this great country. You don't remember that
Right. Yeah, man. And she was also a instrumental part of the Dr. Phillips One PNP campaign. Now, if you notice the caliber of women that he goes after and trying to hurt and harm and get rid of are women Lisa, Donna, Imani, Duncan, Price, young Rhoda, and then he replaces them in using, as you mentioned a while ago, some what we call Jamaican term, right? Crab shitted woman.
Lord God, I force me to hear that term there.
What he's saying, with the wealth that he possesses, he can buy him where. He can buy him where. So him no need no woman will have no sense and no intellect and capable. You understand?
Oh, but him wife smart though. Them same wife smart, but me never really see she step out yet like.
Right, you never hear her we are saying them that's what people say, but we don't know nothing about her. Oh. But these other women are threat. Plus Lisa, after Dr. Phillips defeated him, Dr. Phillips then made Lisa the face of the PNP's campaign for 2020. Him can't afford that.
Oh, so him not want a smart woman around him then. Him just want to riffraff them.
No, capable, competent, and then of course the fact that if she was going to become prime minister before him wasn't going to get there, then Rhoda come put the coffin, the nail in the coffin. Okay. So him have to go back to Manchester because of him real aim is getting back into Manchester. You know me, no one believe it? It's Rhoda Crawford. I don't know if you remember last year sometime a vehicle ran into a vehicle she was in.
Okay. So right. Listen, right now, Bunting is pretty much aware of the damage that he has done. He's aware that he destroyed the party in a way that it's not viable. He's aware that the person who them encouraged to go there with the fraudulent groups and corrupting the electoral process system and the YO, Mark Golding, is polling 12%, 14%, and has not been able to go any higher. He's also aware that Mark Golding does not have what it takes to be a leader. And I am wondering if that bothers him at all, because I don't see him really trying to help. But not that anybody is listening to Bunting anyway. But, sometimes you realize that you screwed up so bad, you just say, you know what? I'm just going to have to either admit my wrong or walk away from this thing here because it can't fix. Me can't fix it back. But instead, even with the situation with what happened with his son and everything, you not hear him come and talk nothing. It's just business as usual, no matter how bad it gets. It's just business as usual. The same thing with Melissa Silvera. Normally when these things happen, you would have like a vigil, just to recognize and to get people together and just share in the moment of grief and things. Nothing at all. And people supposed to believe so them people are mean well?
No, in don't. You see, all right, so I saw a movie once when he used to make get good movie named Play Mystic for Me. Clint Eastwood. Forgot what the girl name I play him girlfriend. But there was a radio program, and diligently every night at like 8 o'clock, this female voice called the radio this jacket who was played by Clint Eastwood, and she asked for a song, Play Misty for Me. But she was obsessed with the radio jack that hosts the program, Clint Eastwood, and she made her way. Eventually, she found out where he lived, etc., etc. Peter Bunting is obsessed. When he came home from Canada with his degree in financing, Peter Bunting was invited into the circle, the inner circle of Prime Minister Manley by a Jamaican, remember the PNP, rich Jamaican named Melhedo. And because I think it was rumored, I don't know if it's true that he was married to Melhedo's daughter. So he got inside that Prime Minister Manley inner circle and he saw what the capacity and power, but Manley used it well wisely and in a socialist way for the people, really for the people.
Mm-hmm.
And he created that office just to be called Prime Minister of Jamaica, nothing else. He's obsessive with that position.
With the title, okay.
Some very brilliant-minded women, Lisa Anna, Imani Duncan, Donna Scott Motley, Natalie, Denise, those women played a major primary role in Dr. Phillips beating him on his birthday. Then the icing on the cake was another young woman who's a university graduate, Rhoda Crawford, put the final nail. So he's obsessive, a rich picnic. Yeah, you and them are player. You are beat them at them game as a poor picnic with them marbles. So them get big and grab up the marble and say, we're not playing no more and gone. Well, that is Bunting. He's obsessed with the getting to the office of just to be called the Prime Minister of Jamaica, because I said he told his mother that he was going to become Prime Minister of Jamaica. And then Bering said while he was at school, and the teacher asked, what you want to be? And his thing was Prime Minister of Jamaica.
Oh.
So by any means necessary, and anybody who gets in his way, now Rhoda Crawford is still in shock, but he's obsessed with becoming Prime Minister of Jamaica. Mark, if he had the chance, but his career done, Mark, but he not accept that. So when we see what we are saying, because I say, if you don't believe it, go back and look at it. He was listless. He can't generate, him not generate no energy. Him not no zest, him not no zip. Him inert. Him inane. Him inept. There was nothing about him.
Him impotent.
And then while
impotent.
watching the news, I said, yeah, impotent, right. While watching the news, I said, but he doesn't want to come back really to representational politics. His main focus is Rhoda.
But I'm wondering if we are the princess, but I'm wondering, somebody say on the screen here, Bunting is waiting for Mark to step down to fill the gap with what is happening now with the case. Do you think that Mark Golding would really step away from being member of parliament and leader of the opposition? That doesn't sound realistic to me.
No, man. Him start like the pomp and the pageantry, Him start like the little niceties, and him get to go here and,
Mm-hmm.
In Mark Golding, Mark Golding really artistic,
Lord
but him begin to like them there. Okay. Like them little things that were happening, because of that position. So right now it's gonna be hell, but Bunting, who is Bunting? As I say, he's fifth on the list of the most feared politician. Therefore, Bunting obsession is driving him, and is driving him ruthlessly. Mm-mm. And it's going to drive him to either kill himself or end up a prison for murder. That is how obsessive he is.
God have
it's
mercy.
It's not about getting back a seat, because him thinking, if the amount of money we him say him have, right? Him go right round the 14th parish. And him come right back to Manchester, because him can't believe. Say, me, Peter Bunting, rich. Him think him good looking. Ray. Yet still, the people them reject me. Him can't get over that. And them woman that cause it, them university educated, bright woman, the pretty woman there. And Lisa again turned him down, rejected his advances for dating. Imani, one time.
Yeah, that me I notice say all of the woman them like I think Imani didn't marry her. They were going to be married.
No, man, no. Him attended a match one time. Him attended a match with her over Arnett Garden Football Stadium. But Imani was married to Wait, and them say her father tell her to get rid of Wait, and then she meet Price. So Imani reject him. So, and then he must say to himself, boy, me, Peter Bunting, does I get rejected to him with his wealth and me think we're good looking and way.
Them say the woman them always boops him out and run him. But
yes.
When you look on the girl when him
That's why I'm have the kind of woman them when use Birchell and ripe mango, I want to call her squash mango or whatever.
Little bit of
And them
blood.
kind of woman do. Right.
But we're there. Stick up in right there, so. You know, so me hear somebody say, Lord God, me have to go get me another phone, you know. Me hear somebody talk today, me get one voice note where one woman a say the people and PNP people and Jamaica people be careful of the girl when you have a little bit of blood because police are listening to our conversation 3 weeks now. Because them suspect are. You hear anything about that?
No, me not hear it. Me just hear you tell me now. But me not surprised.
Poopa Jesus. Then I read something when me wonder if I read something say them suspect are for sure. Because the way she come out come talk and them something them, me know say if I was here in America, immediately she would have been picked up and interrogated intensely.
Yes.
So me would surprise, but what the woman I say, the woman I tell the people them say, don't talk to little bit of blood on the phone because the police them a tap our phone and listen in. Which if the police them a do that still, we not really want load up the police them or you understand me I say interfere with whatever them a do. But what the woman basically I say is don't make them drown in a conversation about this murder because them involved in it and them look like them a suspect. You understand?
Well, yes, I agree. But then again, to on the other side of the coin, we shouldn't really mention it, but the police again can be listening to our conversation because she might say, boy, me draw and Melissa Black Lip and you know,
Kaka, you're there.
And if she said that on the phone, the police and stuff, yeah.
Jesus Christ. People, wanna type look a bit of blood in our chat. What you say? She might dip on the phone and say she put her Melissa panty on her ear and go pick her up. No, sir. Pardon my people, me have to laugh. No, sir. This a dangerous situation occurring now. Yes, it's a dangerous situation, and as me say, very dangerous. If me a commit a crime in the mind of a person committing a crime, if me a commit a crime, you see, me nah go call my mother for come on the crime scene because me know she got done me. She nah come. But would I more than likely for call somebody who me know. If me there somewhere and me a thief something and me want help for thief, me nah call my parents, me nah call my sibling, me nah call nobody who me know say don't inna them things. Me a call people who me know inna them things there. Right? So me a look now for say the people them where Silvera call to come there it'll be most likely people who him think would have come there and see certain things and hold it down, or if him asks anything of them, they will do it. Now, the interesting thing that people are saying in private spaces like WhatsApp and so they must say, Michael Phillips, how the hell did Michael Phillips manage to make them draw him into that murder situation to the point where police come look for him? What does Silvera think of Mikhail? Does Silvera think that Mikhail is part of that cult where he would see stuff and not report it or see wrong being done and condone it and go ahead with it? This is very serious, you know. Because when we look on the funeral, Mikhail was supposed to be one of the pallbearer them. And, hold on there. Mikhail is supposed to be one of the pallbearer them and him never showed up to be the pallbearer. But when you look at those who attended the funeral, it is people who are all attached to Bunting. I'm talking about him wife. People say him wife and Silvera sister or friend. Me no know. I'm talking about Miss Little Bit of Blood and I'm talking about Nikisha Burchill that a Bunting mistress. So when you see the three of them there, and you know see no other rest of PNP there, it make you wonder to yourself, say, I wonder if them people here were affiliated with Bunting either help in a one way at all or omitted some information or know a lot about how Melissa died. I was telling somebody earlier, say, say it's likely that for them face are the last face Melissa said before she did. Because then good all get called for come down there before Melissa took her last breath. And when then by the time then go, or maybe when they on their way, Melissa probably start slip into death, and them say your ear in your last sense that leave your body. Maybe Melissa the last person in ear when she dead. But me no like how they look. They no look like people with good conscience to me. When
No,
you
well,
look on them in the church,
they
they're the only ones in the church that steer down the camera and a cut them yeah for the people them who a put the camera upon them. That's not a normal behavior.
no. But the thing is, you said something. Dr. Phillips have 6 children, 4 boys and 2 girls. And Michael Phillips, them say the first pick me always the fullest pick me. And is Dr. Phillips done says to child, but I don't think him got to the pinnacle because him father probably sit him down and say, look, don't get yourself mixed any further and don't sink yourself any deeper into this dangerous situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have a CIS Miami, that the friend, the man is, I can't remember him. Him mama saying when him go look on 2 bodies on the beach, we get murdered, him say, when him look on the body, him say the victim always provides the evidence. So, the body, Melissa provided the entire evidence of how, and it's her husband shooter, it's her husband killer. However, others were there to aid in the changes, change of the tile and put on new clothes. If they never move her, just put on new clothes and things like that. Move her out of the room and carry her to another room.
Jesus Christ. Then them could have fooled, sir. Then could have fooled, so or is the cult style where no matter how wrong something is, them just have to work with it. Because how the hell, know if somebody dead or alive, you think say you're in their sleep, maybe you know about the gunshot, and you gotta put your hand on them and help put on them clothes and fix them.
Yeah, man, and look, they just to go back to like 2019, Fenton Ferguson is close, very close to that Peter David Phillips, I was very close. But Fenton Ferguson had a $10 million loan with Bunting Bank.
Okay.
I know Bunting though? That is how obsessive Bunting was. Bunting called Dr. Fenton Ferguson and said, look, him call, that is illegal, but him threatened Dr. Fenton Ferguson to give him support. Or else him have to pay the $10 million now. And
manipulation tactic. That come like a some hostile, what you call it now? Like a hostile, manipulative. You see people in a financial crimes, them know them style there. For run down people. For run down people and stress out people over money. Whether money them borrow or money they know the people them have and want to extort them. But let me ask you a question, and I'm gonna wrap it up here soon because I don't want to go over an hour. Because when people want to come back and listen, then they really want to listen 2 hours and so. So, but we're gonna come back and talk again some more. But what I'm saying is, at this point in time, with the PNP facing a murder cover up and with more charges looming according to the investigators, and likely we hear say MP overseas was told to come back home, come answer some question. We don't know which MP. We hear say it's likely that more people were involved in the murder. Don't you think that at this time the 9 non-rising MPs were in a parliament need to come together and get out Mark Golding, just like how they made a write letter to the Governor General to get out Peter Phillips, who and a murderer, and Peter Phillips never commit no crime and cover it up. Why is it that the 9 MP then can come together now and write a letter to the Governor General and say, we don't want this murder cover up in the opposition party, and therefore Mark Golding and him cult and him clique need to go now? You not think a time for them take that stance here with this a murder something here?
Yes, but don't say what they should write is that we, the members of the People's National Party, the members of Parliament of the People's National Party, is saying to the nation, we are extricating the party and ourselves from this situation. Therefore, we have taken the decision at this time to remove Mark Jefferson Golding as opposition leader. And they also should announce that there's going to be a special delegates conference until Mr. Golding has been comprehensively cleared in this murder case. Then we are going to a special delegates conference, and a unanimous decision will be taken that Lisa Anna be named opposition leader. Them need to do it now, because the longer they sit there with him there being questioned, is the first time in any party's political life in Jamaica that the leader of opposition has been questioned by the police in a murder case. This is the first time in our history, and it's going to be written that way for generations to come, that the then leader of opposition was questioned in the murder of Melissa. Okay? Mm-hmm. So it is now on them to genuinely show the country, and that will help the PNP tremendously. We are not corrupt, we are not criminals, we don't know, we are not murdered, we are not in a cult, we are members of the People's National Party founded by Norman Washington Manley. Therefore, we have taken the decision to ask Mark Golding to step back at this time, because there's an active police investigation. Today, the document has been filed for the trial to go straight to the circuit. So the preliminary hearing in the criminal court in Apache has been removed, and they're going straight to the circuit court, the Supreme Court, for the trial on King Street. And it seems as if bombshell is going to come out of that. So now is the time to remove the People's National Party from this whole scenario and leave those people. Ask Mark Golding, tell him, write the letter. Dr. Phillips and Lisa must sign it also with 9 of them. Take it to the Governor General and ask, it will work wonders. And then you have a special delegates conference. Now voting now take place unanimously. Lisa Anna has been appointed. If you even want to put interim before it, President and People's National Party, and the party get them way out of that. And then when the whole name calling start going now, well, them people the PMP cannot be aligned with, but they need to pull the party out.
So this is something that should be also written to PJ, you know.
Yes, it will
know
be
say
good.
PJ.
It will be good if he get it.
Me know say him go through a grieving.
PJ is not doing well.
Yeah, I know say him go through a grieving period right now. But we're the country where Jamaica must have a viable and a functional opposition party, which they do not have right now, because right now me hear say even Angela Brownberg allegedly want come take up this something here after Mark Golding. Me no know. But the opposition, our supposed opposition, right now they're focused on who's next or who's gonna step in next. And the country needs a viable opposition. So with this murder situation here, I feel like somebody must write a letter to PJ and ask him to be a co-signer of, removing this Rise United cult or whatever murder situation, cover up and them something where they get themselves in and separate them now. And who want go down a station, go sleep with Silvera, who want carry dinner, go give my evening time, who want go sit down in a courthouse with him, whatever the case may be, make them go and go do that, so that the people of Jamaica can have a viable opposition working on their behalf, right? And that's something that PJ should hear and think about, because he knows the national politics, the psyche of the Jamaican people. He knows that what is happening is a very horrible thing, not just internally, but for the country.
And within the wider Caribbean, and within the Americas, and within the wider world. But interesting, I am so glad if I could see it up there. that you said
A
that.
500
He,
people a year, you know, Liz. Wrap it up now, Liz.
yeah,
We are come back one at a time. A 500 people a
yeah,
year.
yeah, man. I agree with you 100%. Now is the time. 14 years as Prime Minister, 14 years as President of the People's National Party. First of all, Noel James Patterson can now atone by telling Mark Golding, you need to step down, both as leader, I said don't call him president, leader of the PNP and as leader of opposition. Having seen that him being there has led to the murder of his, I think they said he wrote in his tribute that she's his niece.
Yes, he referred to her as his niece, and I'm trying to get the full transcript of the tribute because I want to read it for myself and say where he said that there's a lot more that needs to be said that he cannot say. Maybe it was just not the right settings.
Right.
But I need some more clarity so I can bring it to my viewers and subscribers, and hopefully I can get a hold of that by tomorrow.
He should join the 11 MP, the genuine. He needs to make atonement. He needs to make passing. He needs to change what he laid the foundation for and say to Mark Golding, because Mark Golding is controlled by him.
By who? By PJ?
Power broker. No, man, he is the power broker behind Mark Golding. So he needs now, this is an opportunity in memory of Melissa, his niece, to correct the whole situation by telling Mark, you need to resign from the opposition leader office and you need to resign as leader of the People's National Party.
Okay. Well, maybe a petition can be done and addressing it to him. Maybe that's a place to start. But let us pick up back another time, Liz. I'm going to close out now, and we will catch up again. Thank you for. Okay. All right. Thank you for stopping by.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for your contribution. Guys, make sure that una like the live and una share it up. I thank you guys for being here. Sorry I was not able to read every single comment, but may I follow the conversation? I'm following the conversation and I'm hearing you guys. I thank you guys for joining, and I want to tell you guys, please continue to call for justice for Melissa. Make sure so you get up early tomorrow morning and tune in to the news tomorrow, because Joyland Silvera is going to court tomorrow. I think his case is going to be transferred to the circuit court. Somebody say he has been transferred from Central Police lockup to JDF Maximum Security Jail, Red Fence. Is that true or just a joke? So his case tomorrow is going to be transferred to the circuit court. I was told not to be surprised if more charges are filed tomorrow. I don't know if the member of parliament who them say must come home, come face some questioning, reach back on Jamaica soil as yet. I don't know who that person is, but I'm going to do a bit of an investigation tonight. So if I talk with you guys tomorrow, or if it's reported in the news before I talk back with you guys, we will know who that person is, why they were being called to question, and what role do they play in all of this. Right? So guys, let us make sure that when we're talking about this case out on social media, we don't forget to give the Jamaica Constabulary Force and their investigators the credit due, because when a crime is committed and the more time that goes by, considering Jamaica is a developing country, the more time that goes by is the worse it is to secure evidence, right? So irrespective of all the rumors and stuff that were going around, talking about cover up, whatever, I don't have any evidence that the police was covering anything up. But what I can say is the person or persons who were there initially, they have to get their credit for securing whatever evidence they did to make sure that charges are able to be brought. From that moment to the ballistic report, right, to everything that is there. And I say to Fitzbailey again, these people who were called to the scene should be treated like suspects. They should be question as suspects, especially the one who name little bit of blood, will come out of social media, come try to trick up people and tell them things where we don't know if it went that way, but because they cannot be trusted, we can safely say that she was used to come out on social media to muddy the scene, to throw the woman under the bus, the dead lady, Melissa Walters, and to protect the man. That is how a lot of people perceive it, including myself. So Fitz Bailey must not lose sight of the fact that there were other people there. There were other people called there for a reason. Okay? So, guys, thank you again for joining. It's 1 hour, 5 minutes. Went over 5 minutes, but that's okay. I thank you again for your support, your continued support. Please keep inviting your friends over here, share the content, and I am going to do my membership thing pretty soon. Still trying to navigate, the platform here. And hopefully we can become friends for a long time. So thank you again for your support and have a good night, guys. Take care.